Welcome to today's College of Engineering commencement ceremony. We are delighted to have you all here to share in this special day. I'm Christine Pearson, and I'm honored to serve as Faculty Marshal for today's program. This celebration is devoted entirely to our doctoral degree candidates. UC Berkeley is recognized as a global leader in education and research, and Berkeley Engineering is no exception. Our programs are ranked among the best in the world. While that says great things about our faculty, it also speaks volumes about you, our students. Each one of you deserves to be very proud of your accomplishment. To offer the first of what will be many congratulations to our graduates, I'm pleased to present Sujay King Liu, Dean of the College of Engineering.
One of my great privileges as Dean is to preside over the College of Engineering commencement ceremonies. It is a high point of my year, particularly this unusual year, to be here to celebrate your milestone accomplishment. While we wish we could be conducting this event together, our distance in no way diminishes the magnitude of what you have achieved. All of my faculty colleagues share this privilege of witnessing your transformation into engineering leaders. You've engaged in a rigorous curriculum that taught you to solve challenging problems, both as individual contributors and as members of multidisciplinary teams. As Berkeley engineers, you use your minds, your hearts, and hands to innovate new solutions to make our world a better place. We've asked a lot of you, and you have risen to the task. So now we take great pride in sending you off into the world with a degree from one of the top engineering schools in the world. As you embark on the next phase of your life, we hope that you will advance our public mission as inclusive leaders who create new knowledge and find solutions that will benefit our diverse society. We know that in order to develop the best products, processes, and systems, we must value and include the perspectives and ideas of everyone, including those who come from different backgrounds or who might think differently than we do. Berkeley engineers are already known for their grit and ability to solve problems and innovate. My hope is that your reputation will also include advocacy for a fair and inclusive society. I know that you will make Berkeley Engineering proud.
Now I'm pleased to introduce a graduate who has been given the honor of speaking on behalf of the class of 2021. Catherine Shield just earned her PhD in nuclear engineering. Her radiochemistry research has been published in Nature and featured in the New York Times. With a fellow UC Berkeley doctoral student, she was recently honored by U.S. Representative Barbara Lee for their efforts to halt a tax proposal that would have forced graduate students to pay taxes on the value of their education. Lee said the two had mobilized graduate students around the country. After receiving her PhD, Kathy will be starting a career as a Foreign Service officer at the U.S. State Department, where she intends to work on environmental science, technology, and health issues. In addition to her science and policy work, Kathy is an avid backpacker, and she plans to hike the 212-mile John Muir Trail this summer. Once COVID restrictions are lifted, she's looking forward to resuming classes at the Berkeley Ballet Theater. Please join me in welcoming Catherine Shield.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and congratulations. When I was an undergrad, people constantly asked me how I planned to relate my two majors to each other. After all, what exactly do chemical physics and political science have to do with each other? And I never had a good answer. I always just shrugged and said, I don't know, I'll figure it out. When I started at Berkeley, people stopped asking me that question because they no longer questioned the overlap. After all, there's a class co-hosted by the Nuclear Engineering Department and the School of Public Policy. I've always felt blessed that I landed at an institution where my department chairs, my friends, and especially my advisor have always supported my choice to not stay in academia and to go into policy instead. Knowing that led me to the science policy group at Berkeley, where I formed amazing friendships with people from all sorts of departments I otherwise would never have met. We started as 4 early PhD students and had no clue what we were doing, or what SciPol, as it's called, even was. But with lots of support from Cal Government Relations and some excellent professors, we figured it out. Multiple of my friends graduating today are taking jobs as policy analysts in DC, with more in Sacramento. I'll be joining that cohort when I go to the State Department as a diplomat this fall. It might surprise people who know me today, but I've never had an easy time finding good friends or finding my community. But at Berkeley, it just fell into place. I have 3 totally distinct, wonderfully lovely Berkeley communities: my SciPol pals, my research group, and my ski crew. I could talk for hours about the jams people in my research group have rescued me from. When I joined, I didn't know how to use a pipette, and I joined a chemistry group. I didn't know how to code, but I needed to in order to automate my data analysis. I felt like one of those baby peregrine falcons on top of the campanile. I couldn't do anything, much less anything right, and there were definitely a couple of breakdowns. As I'm sure everyone who's graduating can relate to, we've had to redesign experiments on the fly because something always seems to go wrong, no matter how many scenarios you prepare for. But now I'm training other students in the lab, not just in lab, but in solving problems, in finding solutions, in figuring it out. While my research group has kept me moving forward, it's really the ski crew that kept me sane. For the first time in my life, I had close friends who were excellent skiers. We would go up to Tahoe to hit the slopes and hang out with friends. Just like in research, sometimes on the mountain, we ended up somewhere unexpected, somewhere unnerving, like the top of a cliff or a steep, icy run with no obvious way down. And just like in research, we leaned on each other's strengths, and together, we'd figure it out. COVID changed my ski trips, of course. A few months ago, after I was vaccinated, I was on a chairlift with a COVID bubble that adopted me for the weekend. Their 11-year-old looked at me and asked, "How does being a nuclear engineer help you be a good diplomat?" "I don't know, kid. I'll figure it out." Because now that I've got the 3 letters, I'm pretty sure that's what a PhD is. Waking up every day, looking at the problem in front of you and saying, "I don't know. I'll figure it out." Sometimes it might be a research question. It might be a gap in an organization or a physical challenge. Or it could be a problem facing the world around us: racial tensions, climate effects, international disparities. As we move into the next stage of our lives, as postdocs, professors, policy advisors, or stay-at-home parents, we can all remember, we have these 3 letters behind our names now. We are Cal alumni now, which means we are fully prepared to look at the challenges in front of us, no matter how huge they may seem, and say, "I don't know, let's figure it out."
I'm delighted to introduce Valerie Taylor, a Berkeley Engineering alumna who will deliver today's commencement address. Valerie received her PhD in Electrical Engineering and Computer Sciences here at Cal. Prior to that, she earned her bachelor's degree in Electrical and Computer Engineering and her master's in Computer Engineering from Purdue University. She has had a successful career as a faculty member at Texas A&M University, where she became chair of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Valerie is currently the director of the Mathematics and Computer Science Division, as well as a distinguished fellow at Argonne National Laboratory. Her research is in the area of high-performance computing, performance analysis, and modeling and tuning of parallel scientific applications, and she's currently focusing on energy-efficient methods. She is also the CEO and president of the Center for Minorities and People with Disabilities in IT, which she co-founded to help increase diversity in the American IT workforce. In 2020, Valerie received UC Berkeley's Distinguished Alumni Award in Electrical Engineering for her outstanding accomplishments. Please join me in welcoming Valerie Taylor.
Thanks, Dean Lau, for the invitation to give a few remarks. It is an honor to be here during these truly unique times of dealing with the pandemic. Unique times call for unique measures, which is the reason why I'm recording my video outdoors with transition glasses. So it's not the movie star look, but the functionality of being able to read my notes. So let me start with a focus on impact. When you Google the word impact, you have two definitions as a verb. First, to come into forcible contact with another object. Second, to have a strong effect on something or someone. Today, we celebrate your impact on the research community in your respective discipline of engineering or computer science. For you to receive that special hood indicates that you have advanced the knowledge through your dissertation work. And that work is disseminated through publications in journals and conferences, as well as presentations. So to you, I say congratulations. Based upon experience, I found that impact requires passion. And it's that passion that drives you to continue working on hard problems despite hitting dead ends, and using the dead ends to provide insights into innovative paths to address an issue. I can recall hitting dead ends when looking at efficient methods for sparse matrix computations, resulting in my dissertation on application-specific architectures for such computations. Passions drive you to stay current with your work being done in your research area and staying engaged in research regardless of the path that you take. And I'll elaborate on that shortly. In your positions that will immediately follow graduation, you will likely leverage your dissertation work significantly. Your positions may be in industry, academia, or a government agency. Over time, you'll be given opportunities to explore or collaborate with researchers in other areas. I encourage you to be open to other areas as you pursue your research passions, as it is often the case that breakthroughs result from multidisciplinary work, that is, bringing different perspectives to bear in terms of addressing a hard problem. Let me elaborate further based upon my experiences. Upon completing my PhD only a few years ago, okay, that's my joke, I held a faculty position at Northwestern University, and at that time, they were just building up the computer systems group. My research area is high performance computing, or HPC. And while attending the 1991 Supercomputing Conference, or SC, everyone recommended that I meet someone named Rick Stevens at Argonne. They said, it's a definite person to meet while attending the conference. They also indicated that Rick was the guy with long hair. And let me just say, that was not a distinguishing factor in terms of HPC. Well, I finally had the opportunity to meet Rick during the conference, and he invited me to give a research talk at Argonne. That research talk resulted in some great collaborations, including working with Ian Foster on advanced reservations with Globus, as well as working with Rick on automating the performance analysis process, as well as some work building lag models for visual supercomputing environments. Argonne indeed has significant resources with respect to HPC facilities, as well as excellent researchers. And so my passion for doing work with HPC was such that while at Northwestern, I rearranged my teaching schedule to teach 2 days a week, and then I visited Argonne the other 3 days to work on research. My graduate students also joined me at Argonne to pursue research. And now, while I've taken on administrative positions that include serving as a department head, a senior associate dean, and now division director, I still have my passion for research. And that is, I still pursue research activities. And so when we look at this whole picture, being open to meet Rick and being open for collaborations at Argonne resulted in the continuation of research. And now I've come full circle where I'm the division director for the Mathematics and Computer Science division at Argonne. Still continuing to work on research with people that I met 30 years ago. And let me add one other aspect, and that is, as you get to know your passions, you'll find that your passions often evolve over time. And let me just add, my passions have evolved to include increasing the diversity in computing in addition to research. And I found a way to combine the two passions through the Center for Minorities and People with Disabilities in IT, or COMMANDED. With COMMANDED, we're having an impact in terms of the TAPIA conferences, of building communities among different groups, and that is providing an opportunity for people to make connections. We're also the leader of the LEAP Alliance that's looking at increasing the diversity of the professoriate in computing. And then we organize professional development activities to also increase the diversity in terms of the professoriate. So let me wrap up by saying, bring your passions to your work to truly have impact. Congratulations again on completing your PhD. I look forward to hearing about your impacts with respect to your future endeavors. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.
Commencement is a proud day for graduates and their families. It's also a proud moment for the University of California. The degrees conferred by the university attest to the high academic achievement of our students and the fulfillment of the primary task of the university. The doctoral degree is the highest academic degree awarded by a university upon completion of original research that adds to the knowledge base of a particular discipline. We are delighted to recognize these candidates for their extraordinary achievements. I invite all of the candidates for the doctoral degree to please rise as they are able. In my authority as Dean of the College of Engineering at the University of California, Berkeley, I grant you the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations to all of our graduates. We are so proud of you. Fiat Lux, and go Bears!
A virtual procession of doctoral degree students is viewable on this page. You can also view individual slides at the bottom of this page. Congratulations again to our class of 2021. You are now and forever Berkeley engineers and alumni of the finest public university and one of the top engineering schools in the world. You can be very proud. As you embark on your career or continue your education, we hope you'll remember these years at Berkeley with affection. Come back to share your experiences and to pass on your knowledge to the candidates who follow. This concludes our commencement ceremony. Congratulations. Best wishes and go Bears!